You have an idea. You have the heart and drive. You have a world that needs to be created. You have decided to be a solo game developer. At the very beginning of the NES classic The Legend of Zelda, our hero Link runs into his first NPC in a cave.
"It's dangerous to go alone,"
the old man tells Link. However, that's not all he says.
"Take this."
Handing him a sword, Link grows more confident to continue his quest. Notice the old man didn't tell Link to give up. In what very few words the technology at the time would allow him to say, he told Link that the road ahead would be tough, but in the same breath told him that it was possible with some help along the way. My name is Zach Winn, creator of the classic 80s arcade-inspired Mocha Mania, and the currently in development The Questings of Pone and Patu. And I'm a solo developer. Whatever your reasons for starting this adventure into game development, congratulations and welcome. And if you're going it solo, kudos to you. I can honestly say that game development has been one of the most rewarding experiences I've ever undertaken. That's not to say that it can't be overwhelming too, especially when you're a solo developer. Why don't we take this entire solo game development experience itself and look at it as if it were a video game. And the goal is to see our project to completion. I'd like you all to meet Bulby. Go on, say hi, Bulby. Bulby will represent our idea, and we need to help them get to the end of the game so we can feel accomplished, see the credits, and ultimately begin a new experience afterwards. I want to give Bulby a few tools and power-ups that I've been given throughout my own quest of developing games. The first tool I'm going to give Bulby is the side quest log. We're working alone, with no one to hold us accountable for the work but ourselves. If you're anything like me, a lot of shiny objects are going to distract you along the way. Therefore, create for yourself a work schedule. Maybe you have a day job, or you're going to school, or both, and have to use what little free time you have to work on your project. Maybe you're devoting 100% of your time to the project. Whatever your story, pick at least 3 days a week to work on your craft for at least 30 minutes. Part of the difficulty is just getting started with your work. If you dedicate at least 30 minutes to your project, I guarantee that most of the sessions will turn into longer productivity. How do you know what to start working on, though? Try something out that I do. Give yourself a focus for that work session. We're going solo, which means that we have a lot of different hats to wear, and that can become overwhelming. Find your focus for that day. It can be working on your code, developing art for your game, finding a learning resource to better your craft, whatever it is. Pick something, focus on that, and dedicate it to that session. Don't pull yourself in too many directions at once. Alright, Bulby looks a little happier. Now let's give them the mental health potion. From my own experience, there have been days where depression can set in. When you work alone without others that can relate to you and your project, it can feel lonely. There will also be days that can be beyond frustrating and your project just feels uncooperative. That comes with the territory. Here's the silver lining. You're your own boss on this project. Take that mental health day. Do something that you love. Go on a walk. Watch a movie. Stare at a wall. Whatever it is that helps you reset, do it. Here's the trick to that, though. Don't go straight back to your project once you start feeling a little better. You have to marinate in that healing potion a bit longer. Then you can go back to your project. It's easy to be fooled by a good feeling, and perhaps our mind hadn't fully recovered from the earlier trauma like we may have believed. Be kind to yourself. Hey, Bulby looks a bit brighter now, don't they? There's one more thing I want to give them, though. The musical note power-up. Communication is key. With who, you might ask? I mean, we are sitting there staring at a screen by ourselves. Guess what? A common misconception with being a solo developer is thinking that you're actually doing the solo. Go to your family, your friends, your peers, whoever might listen, and talk with them. Share your progress and accomplishments often. Bounce off ideas. Don't keep it all to yourself. Find a few people and sing this world you're creating into existence. Then, when the time comes, ask for their feedback and critiques. And this is important, when they do that, listen to them. That means don't speak. Hear how they interpret your work. Remember that asking for their input does not mean that you're being put on trial. It means that you're learning and growing your craft. Perhaps that game mechanic isn't as obvious to utilize as you anticipated, or that story beat didn't quite hit the chord that you were intending. You won't know that, though, if you constantly defend your precious baby, your work. Take notes. Inform them, not to ask you questions, but tell you what they experience. The questions will come in their observations. Hey, Bobby looks pretty decked out now, and a lot more confident to continue this grand quest. And perhaps you are now too. Remember, use your side quest log and develop a work habit. Drink mental health potions every now and again so you don't get blindsided. And take that musical note to share with the other individuals that are going to help you along the way. In fact, let me be the first NPC you encounter on your quest. I know that the road ahead can be daunting, and there are days that feel as though you've taken 2 steps back instead of moving forward. Just know that I'm proud of you. You're doing amazing work, and I am so excited to see what you can create. You've got a fan in me. And before you go off and continue your journey, take this bit of information with you. Even though you may be going solo, you're never alone.